What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Six Fronts podcast. This is episode 2. We made it. We had another episode. It wasn't a one-hit wonder. What is up, everyone? We have some insanely awesome guests tonight. This is our first night where we have content creator guests outside of Six Fronts. 2 massive PvP streamers, which is really cool, / content creators. We have Maddox here as well, which is cool, whatever. But we have a lot to talk about tonight. There's some insanely cool things happening next season in the competitive area of Crucible. Well, maybe insanely cool. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. But let's talk about these 2 awesome guests first. But first, my co-host, Maddox. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? Yeah, my name is Maddox. You can find me at twitch.tv/Maddox. And then my link tree is MaddoxGG. And we scrim every Thursday and we do the podcast every other Sunday. So unfortunately, that's all I have time for. I'm in nursing school at the moment. And and that says enough. I'm just really busy at the moment and just got married and life just took a quick little turn. So unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time for Destiny, but we do our best to, still feel relevant.
Heck yeah, bro. Well, I want to introduce these awesome guests. Same with you, Maddox. I don't know if you have a cool intro for these 2, but
nothing I thought of.
We have AverageMatty and Knitehawk with us. Everyone, round of applause in chat.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, y'all?
Yo, so Maddie, why don't you start? Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then Knitehawk, you can go after that.
My name's Maddie. I've been streaming for 2.5 years. We were lucky enough to get partnered last year, and we've just been, hanging out this year, working on a big project, and just doing all the good stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Very excited. What about you, Knight? What's up, buddy?
What was the question?
Welcome, Knight. Just tell us who you are, brother. We're happy to have you. We
okay.
appreciate you guys being on the podcast. So
Yeah. Thank you for the invite, Max. Always good. I'm really happy I'm actually here with Maddie. I think the last podcast I did might have been with Maddie. I don't remember.
I think it was.
It was right. The scrim school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually okay. But yeah, so same as my, not as cool as Maddie though, but just been doing Destiny, putting up a tree, taking care of a husky, crying when trials is trials, and that's really it.
well, real quick, tell us, Knitehawk. We'll come back to Maddie real quick. Tell us how you got into Destiny, how you got into streaming. That's what we want to know.
Okay, so I got into Destiny by accident. I was actually in college at Full Sail for film and TV production. And one of my old childhood friends had trouble, and they knew I was good at Call of Duty and Halo, and they needed help actually going through a Crota raid. So they bought me Destiny, and they bought me the expansion. I was like, sure, I'll play it. And I wanted to play it anyways because it was a Bungie game, so I was excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
And ended up playing it. It was a lot of fun. So that's how I got into Destiny. And then he asked me to help him when Trials came out. And I would play with him anyways, but then his friends started asking me to help them. I started playing with them, and they showed me who was the first streamer I watched. I think it might have been Sir D. Hey, why don't you do this? Yeah. And I was like, sure, I'll give it a shot. And it just kind of just went from there. And I've just since then been doing it.
Oh yeah. So at first it was a raid. I never would have thought that, but then of course it was Trials that got you, and you've just been Trials ever since, right?
Yeah, because I've loved PvP because I have a Halo and Call of Duty background. So I was like, why not? And
awesome.
I've just been stuck with it forever.
And then you started streaming around that time as well too, or what got you into streaming?
Yeah, so streaming was kind of the same thing. When I was watching Sir D, it just seemed like a lot of fun and something to do. So at the time, I was actually a super it was weird. So I was super introverted, but when I was on set, I was extroverted because I was at first AD, second AD. So it's kind of weird paths. And then streaming just kind of helped me break that gap and kind of just build myself out more. So came out perfect time. I think I was I went 17 or 18.
Nice.
Yeah.
You become a Twitch partner. You have an awesome community. That's awesome, dude. Maddie, take us through what brought you to streaming. What brought you to Destiny?
Like Knight said, I used to watch a lot of streamers back in the D1 days. I watched it was Crafty, it was Gathalion, and then it was Lucky and Buttwipe. And I would just watch them play Trials and everything else. And it was really cool. It was Crafty for Trials, Lucky and Buttwipe, and then it was Gathalion for new season drops. Because he did more PvE stuff. And
sure.
I remember I was working at the restaurant, and I was like, man, I've always wanted to give streaming a chance. And there was a December before COVID hit where we were just understaffed and we were just crazy busy. And I made a ton of money at the steakhouse. And I was like, you know what? I can invest in a PC and stuff. And I had a good friend of mine that used to, want me to stream and everything else. So I would stream for him. So I tried it out, and it took 3 months to learn how to use OBS and everything. And after I kind of figured everything out, we had the pandemic, and I had off work, and we were just kind of furloughed. And I was like, you know what? This is my only chance. I was like, if we're going to try to stream, it's right now. And I was like, Destiny's a cool game. I haven't played it in a long time. Let's try it. And immediately the Destiny community was just very supportive. Like, the community started building really fast, and we got to where we are now because of it. So I'm pretty thankful about it,
Of course, dude.
And similar to what Knight said, it's actually super. I didn't know that you worked on sets. I've been acting since I was 18. So like the switch over to like from acting and doing commercials and stuff to coming, here, it's like my own little TV show that we can hang out with people and.
You're an entertainer. I mean, in the end of it, you guys are both entertainers. You harbor a community. You entertain them daily, almost. I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I remember
awesome.
Maddie. I met Maddie. You might be one of the first people I started playing video games with while I was streaming on the internet. So like forever ago. Like
I remember.
Like it was a minute. Like I've got to see your whole like rise to stardom, and it's been pretty cool, man.
I appreciate that, man.
I have too. I'll tell you a little story real quick. How I met AverageMatty. All right.
Because I met him through Sam or Maddox.
I think you did.
Bro,
yes.
you know what? Your name's Sam during this podcast, not Maddox.
That's fine.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. My name's Sam, by the way, in case you guys are wondering. No. I met AverageMatty because of the infamous TTV in his name. We played him. I don't remember who was on my team. I'm sure Trials Report can show it, but we were playing AverageMatty TTV on Dead Cliffs, and I was like, oh, he's a TTV. We just beat his ass. Let's go see what he's about. And I'll tell you, I go into his stream, as the most wholesome person I've ever met in my life, who said, dude, you guys played so well. And he's just someone that I just watched. And just like, every time he'd go live, I'd watch his stream, I'd talk to him, just get to know who he is. And dude, I'm very thankful for that day that you had those 3 letters in your name, and it brought me to what you are now. And like, just like Luke, I've literally watched you from the come up, like from less than 1,000 followers to what you are at now. What, 11,000, almost 12,000? And becoming a Twitch partner, a YouTube partner, and just seeing the grind, dude. And it's inspiring as hell. So, yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. TTV, like I always recommend this to new streamers in chat because they always go like, what do you recommend to start? I'm like, listen, swallow your pride, put your name _TTV for the first 1,000 followers on Twitch. Oh no, it's lame. I'm like, listen, man, like I brought in so many people because like, yes, it brought in people that are like, you suck. And I was like, I know, and then like it brought in cool people too that became part of the community and stuff. So it's important to kind of get your stuff out there in the beginning.
You're playing the game. Might as well have free advertisement. I know it has a bad rap and stuff, but why not?
I have a fun fact about me and Maddie. In his Discord, which I'm the only one with this. I have a role that he gave me like years ago. Beautiful bearded man, and it's still there to this day. I probably haven't said a word in your Discord for years, which I apologize, but it's literally, I just want to go check right now because I wanted to make sure I still had that, to make sure I was still special. Suck on that, everyone.
Yeah, you're the only one with that role.
There you go. You love to see it. You love to see it. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Well, again, we appreciate you guys being here. I'm really fortunate that you guys were able to pop on here, even after long streams and on a Sunday night where you guys are normally doing trials helps and stuff. But we want to talk about Destiny, of course. That's why we're here. We want to talk about next season. We want to talk about comp because you guys are both PvP players. That's why we brought you on here. We want to bring on people where the topic is popular. Right now we recently just got a TWAB, and it gave us the whole rundown of what the PvP ranked season, what they call competitive division, is going to be next season. So, Knight, I'll ask you real quick. What do you think about? Just give me your first thoughts. You're looking at that TWAB, you're reading it. What were your first thoughts reading that TWAB?
Good bones, but there's so many misses, and it's a big issue. Is they're doing it to appease like the veterans and the hardcore sweats, but they're also it's not really for us, right? It's for everyone else because we're gonna play comp, right? We're not. First of all, the thing about veterans, we're never gonna stop playing Destiny, right? So they already have us. They don't need to win us over. They just need to win over new players. Because we're gonna play, and even if we reach whatever it's Ascendant, what do we have to show for it? It's just bragging rights, right? There's nothing worth chasing. This is a loot based game, right? And that's same thing goes to like flawless and non-flawless pull, which they didn't want to talk about because that's still a touchy subject. But like I always believe like if we're all chasing the same loot, it just needs to be, you know, what it is. Like GMs aren't going to get harder for people who can speedrun them in 5 minutes. Why should it be harder for PvPers?
Right. So good. It was good wrapping, but the present isn't all the way there. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Right. Exactly. It's something new, like for people to chase, but like for like me and Manny, right? We're gonna do it, and then at that, what else is there? It's just
right. We'll get to that. Hold your thoughts real
Wait,
quick.
Maddox. First, I mean, I'm guessing if someone's listening to this, they read the TWAB, but can you like go quickly explain what we're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely, real quick. So of course, those that don't know what's going on in the TWAB, there was a new thing called the competitive division that we just touched on real quick here with Knitehawk, and it is a rank-based system, which is it is in Destiny. You do have a rank-based system. You get heroic, you get fabled, blah 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 blah, 2100, 5500 type deal. It's there, but it's not there in a sense as well too. But now there's going to be copper. There's going to be other different divisions that you get that's going to have a specific logo, a specific just idea to it, and a specific number that you have to get to in a sense, kind of like how Apex is. We always talk about Apex as well too, because they have such a similar ranking system that a lot of people love as well too, that you can get a lot of, you know, motivation from. And but yeah, and the only bad thing is there's nothing about in this recent 12, there's nothing about sandbox changes, and there's not a lot of like behind the scenes information given as well too, which is what we're going to talk about as well. So just kind of give you the gist of it. New rank system, comp's getting a rework type deal, but there's just a lot of things missing, and that's what we're going to get into. Oh, a lot of words.
It's a lot.
Thanks. I just figured,
Sure.
just in case someone that's listening doesn't know what the heck we're talking about. It's a very in-depth conversation about season. Is it season 19 next season? Is that what
season 19? Yeah.
So, and it's the first time. I mean, it's the first time that Bungie in a long time has given us any information about PvP getting anything different other than like a map that was remade or something.
Other than disjunction, yeah. Well, Maddie, back to you real quick. Tell me about what your first thoughts were about that TWAB. Bare bones, brother. Don't hide your opinion. We want to hear it.
Make this clippable, okay? Something good for the internet, all right?
You want me to be honest? I mean, listen. My honest opinion is that they're just jerking us off. They're giving us what they think we want to hear, right? A comp with a ranked mode, but we're not getting anything in that game mode. We're not getting any cosmetics. We're not getting any armor. We're not getting any weapons. And the sole reason is because they're afraid that they're going to be gatekeeping weapons for lower skilled players. It's like, well, listen, there's so many workarounds on this, right? Put a gun at gold and then put ornaments above it. So it's nothing that you need is above. Despite the fact, it's just that we have this very. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, you know. I'm trying to say like we have this very pussy system that it's like, hey, if I want palindrome, I have to go into the GM and I have to grind that GM. And guess what? Chances are I get the other shitty gun that no one wants, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't have the skill to do GMs. It's a pain, right? You die a lot, whatever it might be. You might not have the experience. So it's like,
or you have to be at a certain level.
If you certain line level, right? Yeah. Which is a pain.
I'm not even there yet.
Yeah, so it's a little bit painful where I feel like I had this grind where I want things that are out of reach for me. I want things that I might go, shit, I might not get this if I'm not either prepared or I don't have this weapon or I don't have the right team or we're not really working together. It's just like trials, right? It's if you don't have the right team, it's just not going to happen. So when it comes to comp, a game mode that I think not a lot of casual players are really going to get into, give us the juice. Give us a reason to play it other than the ego of the badge. Because, you know, what am I going to go on Twitter and go, hey, guess what? I don't want to talk to any non-ascendants here, right? Or is it even going to be, is it going to be as hard?
That's what he's going to do.
Well, yeah. Is it going to be as hard to get to 5,500? Like, because 5,500 wasn't that hard for a lot of people who made PvP, right? It just took you like a day or two. It's just kind of annoying, right? But is Ascendant the same thing, just reskinned? Is it going to be like, oh, I'm Ascendant. Oh, okay, you know? Yeah, you want it to be as hard as Apex is when you get to Pred. When I hear someone's an Apex Predator or someone's in Valorant, someone's, you know, whatever it is,
that's
I'm
a
like,
bad man
shit.
right there, boy.
I'm like, damn, right? But if someone's like, yeah, I'm 5,500, I'm like, Good job,
Cool.
Good for you,
How many seasons now? Yeah.
Yeah.
But to say
You drink
that
water
was
too?
impressive a while ago. Like seasons and
That is-
like when it first came out, it was pretty impressive.
point,
Fredericks'
Yeah, that's
Great
Right?
point.
never got it. I never got Not Forgotten. I was ass. I couldn't get it, right? And I love that. I love that I didn't get that because I wasn't good enough. But other people were. Other people grinded. Apparently, the Redrix's grind was like a painful one that
It
haunts
was
people.
very painful.
I love that.
best thing in the world.
I love that.
75 different Crucible games you had to just complete to continue the quest. 75. That takes at least a couple hours. I mean, at least like 8 hours, 10 hours of grinding, like constantly. Just to complete the quest line, like just to complete that like one single quest. There was 8 more that you had to do.
Yeah. So like to wrap it up, basically, what I'm tired of seeing, because I never read TWABs anymore, if I'm being honest, right? I read this last one, but my main point is I'm tired of getting like juked out, right? It's the same thing when they did like the nerfs to like linears and stuff. They said, oh, we're nerfing it. I was like, oh, thank God. And it wasn't, right? People were still just as strong. They're nerfing it a second time, then a third time. The third time it took. But I always said this in chat. I'm like, they nerfed in-air accuracy once. And that shit is destroyed, right? They've nerfed Lorenz 3 times. They've nerfed Last Word 3 times. Like, stop. Just do it. Just stop lying to us. Just do it. There's nothing to be afraid of. Turn down abilities, right? You're not gonna lose a player base. Just seriously, like, don't be afraid to actually balance things. I know they want like new players to have a better chance, whatever it is. I died like 10 times tonight just to straight up abilities in like one game. Like I got res and the guy threw like a stasis crystal and I slowed down. A guy like meleeed me with a warlock thing. I was just like, God damn, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of bullshit in PvP at the moment. So, Luke, real question. I want to get you because I know this is how me and Luke met. I told you how me and Maddie met. Me and Luke met through streaming, of course, as well too. But also, me and him played comp. And like day in, day out, because he was on the road to getting his Unbroken at the time, and I was like, dude, well, fuck it, I'll help you. Why not? Just have fun playing comp. Whenever it was good, there was 3 subclasses. The Void, Arc, and Solar. There was no 3.0 just yet, or whatever. This is like maybe 4 or 5 seasons into comp actually being a thing. So, Luke, tell me what your thoughts were about the whole comp rework. Are you excited to get back into it, or what?
Yeah, I'm like in the minority here when it comes. I'm not a hardcore player. I mean, I'm a very busy human being that's a new father that gets to play video games sometimes. And I really miss the nights where we played comp all night, like till 4 in the morning. You know what I mean? Just like we were on a heater. You got to go to the next game. Can't
end in a loss, baby.
Yeah, can't end a loss. So whenever I saw what it was, I've never played, and I've played a little bit of Apex, but I've never played like this system where there's like a ranked thing. I've always heard all the PvP people talking about like ranked. I wish we had ranked. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. So it kind of interests me just because it's something new that I haven't played and it'll bring me in there. I don't really care if I get loot, to be honest. I'm like way over that. I'm not like I've said this on this podcast and our old podcast, like I play this game to get seals, which do nothing for me other than show that I spend a lot of time playing the game and can do tasks. And then I love playing PvP in any sense with the homies. So this sounds pretty cool to me. I don't care if I get anything. If there's a seal, I know there's going to be a seal connected to it. That's going to immediately make me want to play this. So I'll be in there, playing. But I'm definitely not going to get to the max, whatever, because that's the thing I'm interested in. I don't know, like, how hard is it going to be to get to, what's it called, Ascendant? Like,
Ascendant, yeah.
I don't know how hard it's going to actually be to get to that. You know what I mean? That's why we're talking here. Like, is it going to be like a 5,500 grind, or is it going to be like, you have to be like the best? Like, you have to be the best. You have to be like these two over here to the left to get to Ascendant kind of deal.
I mean, that makes sense.
You got to grind. You got to put the time in. I'm hoping that there is enough grind there for me to feel like I get to a point where it's like, all right, this is as far as I can go because this is as good as I am. But also, like, I hope that I don't have to like go too much further past my skill level to get the seal, even though I know a lot of people would argue that would be a better seal to get because it would be harder to attain. This old dad who wants to go to bed on time but also play Destiny wants to get as much stuff done in a little amount of time possible. So that's my I'm excited about it in a lot of ways. I think this is just the beginning of something. Like if they actually go forward with this and like build on it and not just like give this to us and not talk to us for 4 more years about PvP, that would be what I'm assuming is going to happen, because I don't assume anything good's going to happen in this game, to be honest. I just play it, and then if they give us something crazy, I'm going to be like, wow, let's have a cool podcast about it. But I think this could just be like the groundwork, like the beginning part of something that is maybe going to be more in the future for PvP. I don't really know, to be honest, but I'm excited.
That is what I want to touch on next.
That's what I'm excited about it, but go for it.
Because I am too. I've always been excited. I think the one thing that's brought me to all these other games, all these other FPSs at the moment is like Halo. They have the rank system. You do your placement matches. You do your 10 placement matches. You get placed in a certain rank and you grind from there. You go into Apex and you grind from recruit or bronze all the way up to whatever. You go and play Valorant. You play ranked. You try to get to immortal. Different things like that. And then you just have that sense of like, just recognition, like, oh my gosh, I am an immortal player. If people see this shit, they are gonna fear me. They are gonna be like, holy shit, this guy has put in the time, put in the effort to be good at this video game. And I hope that's what it is. I hope that's what it is for this, because that will make me feel like I'm not wasting my time playing Destiny ranked. I know the ranking system itself is kind of flawed in the moment, but I also think that, or I hope that what my rank is also like, it really corresponds to my skill level as well too. I hope it's not just like, oh, I just reached it. Anyone can reach Ascendant if you just play long enough. No, I hope I have to win games. I hope I have to get a lot of kills. I hope I have to get a lot of assists and captures or whatever the game mode might be to rank up, So
it's debating that it's going to be competitive, because like right now when you think Destiny 2, you don't think it's a competitive game, right? Because of the abilities and
if
the
you do,
giant
you're
hitboxes.
Considered stupid, or you're considered brain dead, whatever people want to
Yeah.
say.
The problem is like when you see, for example, these Destiny players play Overwatch, they have this big problem, right? Where they have a hard time, right?
Right.
I've seen. And it's because if you play, let's say someone who has a pinpoint like McCree or something, right? You have to like, you can't like hit here and it's a hit, right? It's like I think Mercy you can, but like if you're like McCree and you shoot here, it's a miss. If you shoot here, it's a miss. But you have to hit the head. And I think it's a thing that I think a lot of Destiny players don't realize is how big the hitbox is in this game. It's massive. It's massive, right? As well as the aim assist values and everything else. But it's just, I'd love for them to see this and go, you know what? We're going to decrease the hitboxes. We're going to lower the abilities. We're going to lower the one-hit shot abilities. Supers are back on the same level again, so that we can actually see them, and maybe they last like a lot shorter. So you're relying less on supers and stuff. I'd love to see Destiny be competitive, but with a ranked game mode, it can only get so competitive, so to speak. You know what I mean? With these things.
Well, I'm glad you said something like that, because that's going to bring us into our next little topic here as well too. And I want you to extend on that a little bit more, Maddie. What do you guys think is missing from the competitive rework? We have just the rank system, but a lot of people, I even put out a poll on Twitter a couple days ago, is you can add one thing, and a couple of the polls I had were rank-based matchmaking, which they talked about how it's going to be skill-based, which a lot of people had an issue with, and we can get on a whole tangent about skill-based matchmaking. But they talked about I put in rank-based matchmaking. I put in a uncapped leveling, as in like you can just continuously grind your rank, and it's just like a leaderboard. So it's like who has the most shit at the end of the season is considered the biggest badass. Loot, and then like cosmetic things. So like, what do you guys think? Maddie, touch on this again. What do you guys think is missing from this comp rework? You talked about just, I mean, in a general, I think you were kind of going more towards the sandbox for like the hitboxes and such.
Like if we're looking, if we're totally ignoring like abilities and weapon balances and everything else, the easiest thing that they can do today is, hey guys, in copper we have like a little emblem or a weapon skin that we can have, right? And in silver we have maybe a shader. In gold we have the weapon so that it's not too high. Gold we have they could have made it like an exotic version of Rose, right? And then everything over that could have been like one up from gold. It could have been an ornament for the weapon. One more up could have been an emblem, and then at the highest you kind of get like this whole package of like you get this exotic emblem that moves, right? Maybe it has some cool things. Maybe you get like an exclusive gun skin that's that's very obvious. Maybe it moves too. It's just like, oh shit, this is the Ascendant gun skin, and it's a shader. It's like an Ascendant shader. You can put on all your weapons, whatever it might be. I think you need something that's, hey, we have a weapon, but it's low tiers so that most people, if they grind it out, they can get it. And then everything after that is just cosmetic.
Which they
Because-
can, by the way. By the way, another thing from the TWAB is that you get one chance per character each week to finish a small little quest to get the weapon. So the loot that they are incentivizing is very easy to get. Let me just point that out real quick as well too. But what you're saying is you want customization, you want exotic or some type of exotic or some type of cosmetics to showcase how badass you are, you know?
Yeah, you want something to show. I mean, it kind of goes back to there's a few things that I want to grab from different games and shove them into Destiny. One of those things I think is Call of Duty weapon skins, right? It's their challenges that you have per
Yes.
skin. So I would feel like I'm not wasting my time if I got on and let's say I use a palindrome. Palindrome has like a bunch of challenges and it has like a bunch of different skins that's evolving. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grind out palindrome today. I want that whatever skin, right? We're missing kind of very easy kind of grind things that I think would really help out with people feeling burnt out, right? Because instead of just playing PvP or trials or something, if we're bored, if me and Knight are bored, at least we can change weapons and go, oh, I'm trying to grind for the skin. I need to get like 50 headshots, or I need to get, 3 triple kills with this thing in one game, or whatever it might be. We need something to hunt. You get me?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Knight, would you have any thoughts on that?
A lot of it is the same. So like I like the weapon. It's super easy for everyone to get, but it should be like Maddie said, like ability to get like shaders, ornaments to kind of build upon it as the higher you get in the ranking system. So you unlock that base gun. And it's very easy for everyone because obviously if we put a gun any higher and people can't acquire it, that's kind of a problem. But being able to evolve that gun with shaders, things like that would be really cool. Even just like in D1 where we had the Nightfall aura, if you beat the Nightfall, it was actually hard in D1. Having an aura in the tower based on your ranking. We're going to have that coming soon with the LFG like voting system, which I think is going to be really, really dumb off the rip. But having things like that, just like showcasing like, hey, you're doing great. These are cosmetics, things like that. That's kind of what needs to be there and give you a reason to play, to chase, to want to get better, as opposed to I get getting mad not being able to obtain a weapon, but like cosmetics, I don't really feel like you can get mad at that. But that's just me. Like I don't.
I'll tell you one thing. Going again, we're going to continuously, compare this to Apex and other games as well, because other games have similar ranking systems that have been implemented for years now, seasons upon seasons, 3 months at a time. You got some new stuff to grind after. You take something as simple as a Apex like flying trail, a diamond trail that I've never even got before in my life, but I'm envious of people that do, because that is such a simple cosmetic that shows off how badass you are. Like, oh, this guy used to be a diamond. This guy's used to, or the red one, of course, being the Apex Predator. Something. What if we had something where if you reach Ascendant, you have this badass transmat thing that shows up every time you load into a Crucible match? Like, holy hell, this man right here is a badass. This man has the Ascendant transmat effect. Holy shit, he's on my team. We're about to win.
But that's what's frustrating, right? It's I've heard so many amazing ideas in the last like 2 years of playing this game. Like such good ideas I've heard. Like that's a badass idea, right? Exotic emblems, weapon skins. If they had like a store like Valorant where we had universal skins instead of ornaments that we could buy, I'd spend $100 every week, dude. I'd be broke because I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to get this. Take away shaders, add a customization for armor. There's so many great ideas that, man, are not hard to implement, right? But I think because maybe they're so used to just reskinning content and reskinning weapons and reskinning armor and reskinning environments even. I mean, didn't they get caught reskinning like something?
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah.
That it was
the,
Mars or something, or
it was one of the Mars lost
sectors
sectors that like completely got
Yeah.
reskinned for a weekly mission. Yeah.
they're so used to just reskinning things. Maybe just the thought of, hey, like maybe we should add this like emblem grind. They're gonna go, what? No, that's too much. That's too much. So the question is like, really, does Bungie really have the want or the need or even the drive to make Destiny a great game? Or do they want to keep seeing it kind of, in my opinion, at least, we're heading towards a very slow downward slope. It's not getting much better in my opinion. It hurts.
I agree. Luke, what's going to get you into the comp rework? What's going to get you there? What's going to keep you there every single week, every single weekend till 4 a.m.? What is that one thing that's going to get you in there every week?
Well, first, speaking of cosmetics, how do I earn Knight's sweater?
Fire.
Where'd you
It's from
get that?
Numbskull. Numbskull
Bro,
Designs.
speaking of the sweater,
That's
bro,
amazing, dude.
that is a
You have a
beautiful
code?
sweater.
No, but they
Oh,
had.
shit.
It's,
Add it to the
I think
game,
it's
bro.
like
Where we at?
50% off right now, actually.
Ask him for a code. I'll buy a sweater.
What's the code?
I wish. They
Give
sent
me
me
a code.
this, but I would like a code.
I refuse to buy for them unless you have a code. That's it.
I'm gonna tell him right now. Hold
There
on.
you go.
I've just been admiring both of your Christmas trees and festive things happening in the background. Slash.
I'll be right back.
Oh, see ya.
He's gonna go steal the tree from the living room.
Maddox gonna put a tree in the background.
I have a Christmas Destiny thing. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
He's gonna go
But
steal it.
while he's gone, I'll explain what's gonna get me in there. It's super simple. If there is a seal, like I am a completionist, so if a seal is attainable for comp and it's gonna be something that makes me play for weeks and weeks and weeks, that I'll be there. So like anytime a new raid comes out, I need to get the seal. It takes like minimum of 5 weeks just to get 5 of the master triumphs done, and then all the other crap you have to do. So honestly, like, just to have a little thing above my head that says that I played the game too much, that's all it's gonna take for me. I'm pretty simple. But also I've talked about this a lot, but the idea of, I did say I don't care about loot that much. It's not that I don't care about loot. There just hasn't been any loot in a while that I've been like, I really like loot
worth
that,
chasing.
yeah, I like break the game loot, like stuff that, and not in PvP as much as like PvE, like a lot, just like Recluse came out, and it was good in PvP, but it was, people got it for PvE. Same with Mountaintop
That's
originally.
really good in PvE.
So I like miss there being like that weapon that everyone's talking about, everyone's tweeting about, like, oh, you got to get this. It's like so OP, it's the best thing, and you can only get it from comp or whatever, and it's really hard to get to it. Like that would keep me there, that kind of deal. But outside of that, you give me a bunch of tasks that I'm supposed to complete in order to show that my 3,000 hours was worth something, apparently, then I'm good. And then it's also good because it gets me on, and gets me wanting to hang out with people and play. Because outside of that, if there's nothing for me to do or complete, I won't grind Destiny at all anymore. I love it to death, but if I'm gonna stream, I stream on Tuesdays. If I don't have any seals left, if I don't have anything, I pretty much just like play FIFA or random games because there's nothing to do. So, did you hear everything I was saying while you're?
Yeah, no, I could hear you the whole time. I was looking for my I have a really old Christmas Destiny shirt from M-Tash's line from like way back in the day, like Destiny 1 time. So I was trying to look for it, but I guess it's still in dirty clothes or some sort. But it's a shirt that I like. It's the only one. It's one of the only Destiny shirts, like focus shirts, that I have, and I thought it was pretty cool. Since he has the Christmas sweater on. But just to go back on what you said, Luke, I totally agree, because that's one thing that gets me in playlists as well too, is like certain weapons that have the god roll or anything like that, or something that like a Luna's Howl or a Not Forgotten, something like that, where if you have that weapon, not only does having that weapon just showcase how good you are at the game, or like how much time you input it, but also you just get a reward. You get rewarded for being that good, Yeah. Not everybody gets to have that diamond seal or that Apex Predator logo above their head at the end of the season if they didn't put in the time and they're not good enough.
Exactly.
This competitive division will succeed if it showcases the actual skill per rank. So if I'm an Ascendant, people look at me like, God damn, that man's a badass in this video game. Yeah, he might crutch all the stupid abilities and stuff like that, but damn it, he got there, and then it's worth it. And now he has all these cool little cosmetics and stuff that showcase that he's walking in the tower and like, oh, that man's got glow hoo on. Holy shit. Y'all remember glow hoo, right?
Yeah.
You finished King's Fall. You showed off that shit like you had a brand new car or something like that.
That wasn't from King's Fall, dummy.
Oh, sorry.
Crota's in.
Just kidding.
I got it.
Hey, I think that this needs a few things. All right, it needs, and this is the best part. It needs to hit all the different, and we kind of live in that in this podcast right now. The different types of players. So I'm not really like a cosmetic loot based player. I'm just like a complete I'm simple. You let me get a title and I'm good at it. It means nothing to a lot of people. And then I think that it needs to have that aspect. Needs to have a cosmetic aspect. It needs to have a loot aspect, and it needs to have an actual skill aspect, like we've talked about so far, where it's not easy to get to it. I mean, that's why I wanted to talk a little bit with YouTube both, because I know Maddie specifically, and I don't know you super well yet, but so I don't know exactly what kind of like streams and content you make, but I know that Maddie like will help people get flawless in trials or help people get to 5,500 in comp. What do you guys think of that? In like, what is this going to bring to your content in the future? Like, are you planning to like make this be a thing that you are going to get with your homies that are really good and you're just going to get to Ascendant and then be done? Or are you trying to help people and make content? Like, I want to know where like what kind of content you guys are like thinking up in your mind already from what this is going to add to you guys.
Take it away, Knight.
It's not going to work in terms of helping people. It's even now, like I don't play comp, and the big issue is when you skill-based matchmaking. Like we go in, we're all level 0. You just want to play with like 2 people from stream, and you're just getting rolled. Like you got Grenader Jake, DeFizzle, and like Gold Eagle, just and they're 5,500, and I'm 0. Like I never thought that made sense. Like I shouldn't be rank 0 and playing with other rank 0s, and I'm playing people who are max level. I've been playing for 18 hours today, but I finally decided to hop on. And in playing with like our friends, that's going to be great. That's probably going to be the main point for me, just playing with other content creators and getting there, and potentially doing challenges with each other while we're playing really good teams. But once you hit that top, like what's the point afterwards, right? Like where can you even, like if you want to make more content, it'd be really, really hard. It's like trying to do fun things in trials now. It's just going to be in a different setting, and it's going to be nearly impossible and probably not that much.
I can't agree with you more. I can't agree with you more, because something that I would like to see is some type of like, okay, you tell me whenever those, again, we're going back to Apex every single fucking time. You tell me that they don't do all these little pro scrims, or they even have the pro league, or if you see Nick Merckx in someone else's game, you go and watch that shit. You're like, oh my God, this person's going to beat this person. They're going to be the top leaderboard, and they have it uncapped. So, oh my God, this is for the first, of the whole entire leaderboard and stuff. And if they win this game, they'll be the best team in the game at the moment, and then we'll have to wait till next week to see if something changes. And I think that's what I would love to see out of this whole competitive division, is seeing teams being prevailed over like individual people. And of course, definitely not. I don't like to see helps. Just because it's competitive, you should be with your fucking top tier people. You should be ready to win at all times and be the best person on that in the fire team. And helps, of course, are just helps. You just try to get someone what they want, and you move on. So I'm with you on that. I want to go ahead.
They need a prestige mode. I think that's going to be the way that you can kind of keep grinding it. Because to answer the question before, there's not going to be any helps in comp. It's going to be impossible. Like if I hit it, me and Knitehawk and whoever else play, and we 3-stack it all the way to Ascendant real quick, and then we go, all right, guys, let's do some helps, and we're bringing in some people that might be copper or silver or something like that. It's going to meet them in the middle, and we're going to be facing people that are like diamond or something, right? And then they're going to have an impossible time because it's just different skill level. And then it's going to be 1 versus 3 of them. And that's tough. I mean, that's tough when it happens in trials. When you see a stacked team and you're doing helps, you're doing double helps or something, like, I'm fucked, right? It's like, really? This is going to be so painful, and you're trying. And so I'm happy to see that comp is here. And it's going to be exciting to see content made with other content creators. Personally, I know a couple other streamers are doing this, making a new account and doing like challenges about like new account to Ascend and everything else, or whatever it might be. And it's just one of those things that, like, help won't be in that area, right? It'd be cool to see help.
I don't think it will be
just in trials, right? But it's kind of a way for a lot of content creators to like play with their chat and help them at the same time. But I know what you mean. It's plagued kind of in Destiny 2. It's help. That's why
I was that's why I was
Luke helped out on that one.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering, because I'm not saying that's what it's helped a lot of people become successful. It's good for viewership, right? Because just people come. I don't know what the longevity of that is, right? Because I'm not doing them, because I'm not good enough to help people. You guys should do some BeardedLuke help streams. We'll help BeardedLuke get to Ascendant.
I'd like that.
That's
oh man.
Okay, cool. That sounds good.
There you go. Plan it for the future.
But in general, so like what it sounds like is there's not like loads and loads of content that's gonna be coming out. Maybe there is. I mean, is this like gonna help tremendously for people like you, for like what you guys do for a living, or is it kind of just like it's gonna be fun? We're gonna get to Ascendant. We're gonna make some content out of it, and then we're gonna be back to whatever.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, literally.
it's
all gonna
just
keep
get
improving.
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay, so like I know that I was like, okay, like we'll go to this. We'll try to get to Ascend. I don't know how hard it's gonna be, right? Maybe it's just as getting into 5,500, and then after that, it's like, hey, get on your ult, get a couple weapons, and then record yourself doing it again, but by yourself, and then cut it all up, and then come out with a video that says, oh, new light to Ascendant, and then then do the new dungeon on your main, have fun, get all this stuff, and then get on the other account. New light does the dungeon. New light does new raid. Like, we're lacking so much content as content creators. There's not a lot to do, right? It's weapon reviews, it's builds, I hate these, and like no shade to anyone who does them, right? Because I love all my friends that do these videos, but it's like we faced this streamer or they bagged first or any of those videos. I don't like it. Destiny content's very stale right now, so it's like, what can you do? And this comp thing really isn't helping too much, because we're gonna see it, right? I went to Ascendant, and you'll never guess who I faced at the end, right? And I don't know. I want to see something more unique in this in this directory, I guess is what I want to say.
I think that's what this directory deserves, is something unique. And I don't know how this whole comp division is going to play out, but me personally, I'm all for seeing top teams face off against top teams. And I think that's what this is going to do. They're going to get to Ascendant during the week. Trials isn't out, so they're going to stack with their best people, and they're going to be in Ascendant. They're going to take 30 minutes every fucking game to load it, and then they get a good team, and then they face them, and then they becomes or like a really cool comeback, or we stomped this team, or this person was cheating, or unfortunately, or like, I don't know. I think some content can come from it, and I think it's content that I look forward to, is seeing Grenadier Jake face against Defilzer. They're best friends, but this person has to go against this person with this person, and blah 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 blah. But all in all, I do think eventually, as the season progresses, it's just going to be middle of the week content. It's still always going to be trials on the weekend come Friday at reset. It's still always going to be comp during the week, or different things like that. So, hey, do you think it's going to take over your middle of the week streams, or do you think it's more so, are you going to stick to Iron Banner or quick play with your viewers? Or, I mean, of course, you are trials on the weekend. Like, you are right at reset, ready to go, rock and roll, playing with Grenadier Jake or whoever, and ready to go. So what is it going to do for you?
That's the hard part. So I'm definitely gonna end up doing comp like before, when combat first came out and it was actually interesting and something worth chasing. I did that during the weekend and trials on the weekend. But like, even Iron Banner, I should do Iron Banner now, and like, I don't know how like other streamers do like QP for like 6 to 8 hours.
It's terrible.
I can do it for like 4 matches. I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to be
4 letters, SPMM.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's
yeah.
And I don't know if comps can be much better. It comes down to like who's still gonna be playing the game, because obviously like it's getting to the point where like I was on like pretty much all day today, and there's like 3 people I knew on, and they were playing with each other. Like no one was on, and I just don't know. And the big problem with that is I feel like we're getting to the point where they're trying to make Destiny PvP essentially with no skill, only because they have other IPs coming out that have to do with like PvP, and it kind of sucks. Like,
that's right.
This, and they're trying to just make it to where Destiny's like, it's just MMORPG, and then they're gonna hopefully bring out a game. But I think it's gonna be too late. That's gonna be the hard part.
I've talked about this a lot, and a lot of people say that I'm straight copiuming, but with Sony buying out Bungie for $4 billion, I noticed the dog is adorable. I noticed right away on Twitter quite a few people that were getting hired for making a TV show or a movie, right? And I followed them right away because I wanted to see if I can find any updates. Because like, these aren't like famous people or anything. These are like normal people who work at Bungie. Oh, I just got promoted to be, head of transmedia and all things, Destiny 2 or Destiny, #movies, #films, #TV shows, #books. And I'm like, oh, okay, you guys are going to be making a TV show or a movie, right? Understandable. You just got a ton of money from Sony, who's legendary at making movies. That makes sense. Now, what I know is that from the idea to when it comes out, it takes about 3 years if you're trying to make a movie or a TV show, roughly, right? Because you have to hire everyone from scratch. You got to write writers. You got to get approved. You got to cast, film, edit, promote. So let's just say 3 years. Yeah, it's perfect amount of time because we have Lightfall next year, all year, and then after that we have Final Shape all year, and then they can announce a Destiny 3, right? With Destiny 3 comes the TV show or movie that they drop. One hypes the other, right? It's a huge, huge success that they could have. With a Destiny 3, they could have things like dedicated servers, peer-to-peer connections gone, weapon skins. They could do like a whole thing where we start taking things from other games, right? Content creator codes from Fortnite, Valorant skins that are universal skins that we could have in the shop every week. Weapon challenges from Modern Warfare, and we can make this game on a better engine. Because if you guys did not know, Destiny 2 is on a Halo 1 engine right now, right? And we just make the game a game that we all know it can be. I think Destiny can be one of the greatest games of all time. It's just who's in charge and who's making decisions. They have the cult following. I think that's why Sony bought them. I think they realize that there's a cult following that follows Destiny. But if they keep making DLCs, it's keeping that pool small. No one new is coming in, right? If they make a Destiny 3, players that quit, players that used to play it, right? Ninja, Tfue, Summit, all these big guys might come in for a couple days and check it out. They might like it. They might play it. They might go, oh, this is actually really great. They updated a bunch of stuff. This feels amazing, right? Destiny hand cannon stuff or Destiny weapons just feels good and movement feels good. It has potential. But that's my theory. That's my tinfoil hat theory.
I think we're in the majority when we say that Destiny 2 has the most potential of any game in this on the planet right now. But it's just it's lacking. It's lacking so many different things. So taking us into our next little point here, because this you guys have already kind of talked about it a little bit, is what do you guys see for this next season? In PvP specifically, do you see people getting quickly burnt out like they did this past season? Or do you see more of an extended interest as the season goes on, where right now we are in a weird period of people like playing different games or really ridiculing Bungie and Destiny as a game and on what it's worth and different stuff like that and their choices that they're making. So, Knight, give me your thoughts, and then we'll go to Luke after this because I want to hear what he has to say as well. What are your thoughts on that, on just that whole scenario?
I think this season I think the season burned out halfway through. I think next
quicker than
season
most, if you ask me.
It was probably one of the quickest, especially even with like PvE content. It was super stale quickly. And I think next season's going to turn into it's just going to be a filler season. It's just a filler season because we saw what they announced for Lightfall. It's super cool. They have in-game LFG. They have in-game dim now. They're doing all these games like these things for Lightfall, and I just think this next season is probably going to be, in my opinion, probably one of the worst seasons to hit Destiny 2. And people are just going to wait till Lightfall because why are you going to play a season? You're like, I'll just wait till, was it March or February and just play Lightfall?
When the big boy comes out, yeah.
Exactly. Because everyone knows like expansions are fantastic. They're always good for the first like at least month or two.
Cool. So you're expecting a quick burnout. Luke, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I've been burnt out for seasons and I don't even play that much. Like, there's not really, I'm not playing trials because I don't see the point. I'm not playing comp because don't see the point. I'll play Iron Banner literally because like I'm probably looking for a pinnacle or something at the beginning of a season, maybe. But I think that, I mean, I've talked about this a lot, and I'm probably making it sound like I hate this game that we made a podcast about, but I don't. I do love this game.
This is true. We do love it.
I really do love this game. It's just I think we're in the world of where we're at with it, however many years later, and however many. I mean, we're in season 18. If you like think about it that way, that's a lot of seasons of playing a game. But I think that I know that you said like burnout for PvP is going to be quick. I think it might be a little bit slower next season of a burnout with this new competitive thing. Like I'll probably play that for a while, which I don't play any PvP right now because I just haven't had a lot of like interest. But PvE wise, like I absolutely despise the seasonal model. Like the two seasonal like PvE things that they add that are awful, and then I'm doing the seal and I have to do them like 50 times. That's horrible. That's like I feel like I'm being tortured whenever I play that stuff. So I'm definitely not looking forward to whatever they add next season. Everybody's like, it's so fun. And then like 30 seconds later, it's not fun. Like I had to kill 50 Ruffians this season and they just nerfed it anyways a couple days ago. So I didn't actually have to do that. So maybe next season I'll wait to do the seal at the end of the season when they make it really easy.
There you go.
Once they've made it really easy for everyone else. I don't know. I think that next season, just like Knight said, it's the season before an expansion. So like I think at the very end of the season, a lot of people will come in and do some prepping or get a little. There's like a little bit of hype at the end. Maybe they'll do some sort of like community thing. I doubt it, but if they do, that'd be cool. That like leads into Lightfall. But outside of that, like this is like the time of the year where I'm able to like actually play like my backlog of games, because I'll do all of like the stuff I need to do really quick at the beginning of the season and then peace out, because I know that I'm gonna be spending a lot of time playing Lightfall whenever that comes. So it's kind of where I'm living with it. I think the only thing that'll be a little slower of a burnout is the ranked thing. We'll just have to see how that we'll just see how that launches. Like it could crash and burn immediately, or it could be something. There might be more to it than they're actually saying. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, that's a good point. I think, Maddie, we'll come to you next here in just a minute, but I think one of the overall things is PvP keeps a lot of seasons going. And the reason I say that is because I think this rank system is going to be somewhat of an answer for that late season burnout. People are going to get through the PvE stuff. People are going to do this. And then it's going to be like, oh, let me go try out PvP, see if I can get this ranked up. But then there's also the bad part about that is there's no reason for someone that plays regular PvE, plays regular strikes or raids or something like that, doesn't normally dip into the PvP side of things. They normally do go to PvP towards the end of the season because there's something to get. There's something to go after that they put off for now, because there's a lot of PvE stuff. There's nothing. Unfortunately, there's nothing there for the low ranks other than the Rose. But what is Rose in this scenario of just another 140 hand cannon to another person? Maddie and Knitehawk, I think we all agree. We all love 140 hand cannons at the moment. It's our favorite weapons. We use it. It's somewhat competitive. But what is a 140 hand cannon to the casual that is using funnel web and a GL every single time they go everywhere, or a linear fusion rifle and a SMG, or just they don't normally have that 140 in their arsenal. It's just another weapon in their it's just another weapon in the game. So, but what if you put something towards that lower rank where it is a cosmetic, or what if you just got a cosmetic for playing 5 games in the competitive division or whatever, just to show off, oh, this cosmetic looks cool as hell, let me go get this shader real quick, let me go get this little cosmetic bundle of a shader, an emblem, and a weapon skin for playing 5 to 10 games in the competitive division. Oh, look, I ranked up 1 point. Oh, maybe I am damn good at this, let me go for the next one, because the next one's only 50 points away. If I rank up again, I get another shader. And then it's just, there's always that little something that people are grinding for. And they're going to go after it because they've already finished all their PvE activities for the week. They finished their raids. They finished their seasonal stuff that they play the game for. Mm-hmm. And then there's that PvP towards the end of the season where they start to kind of get that interest for it. But it's just not there. That's what I hate. And that's why I am kind of on Knight. And Luke, your end here is it's not going to keep a lot of interest for so long because there's just no reason to play it, even from the start. There is Rose, and you get Rose, and then you get the fuck out.
Yeah, like
that's
where
a lot of people are going to be.
Like completionists will do it for the seal. Hardcore guys will do it for the ascendant. I don't know what new players do it for. They probably don't even know what it means.
I don't even know what a twab is, bro. Oh goodness, what? Maddie, what are your thoughts? Let me.
I'm like, next season,
the season rundown of what do you think how do you think it's gonna play out? How do you think the PvP is gonna play out in this whole entire season 19?
Oh, in just season 19, or
yeah.
Like next year? I mean, dude, I sound like such a Debbie Downer. I've thought about this a lot. I've talked to a lot of other content creators about this, and we've analyzed it like really hard. It's like this comp rework really isn't anything too special. They're giving us a hand cannon. We're in a pulse rifle sidearm meta. So, if you're good, you can use it still. But for the majority of players in Destiny 2, you're using Rose. You're going to have a back of the map Andy with a, 540 or some other 340 that's just going to 2-tap you. It's over. So I think we're going to have comp. I think it's going to be exciting. I think for the first 2 weeks and the last 2 weeks, because that's usually how comp goes. People either get 5,500 in the first 2 weeks, or they wait all season and they wait for the last 2 weeks. And then after that, we just keep on keeping on, and then they're going to be hyping up Lightfall. And then, we hit Lightfall. Everyone's going to be juiced for like 3-4 weeks. And then we're going to be right here talking about this, right?
quick
Where did
little
they-
rundown question.
You'll
Do
be
you
you'll
think
be
they're already-
guest. We'll have you come back just then, and we'll talk
There you
about
go.
where we'll be like, all right, we talked about this a couple months ago. How's everyone feeling? And then we can just talk crap for like 2 hours straight.
Tree's still up. It's just rotting. It's going bad.
Yeah,
Quick little question, real quick.
it's burnt down.
Do you think Bungie's already on Lightfall? Do you think that their main thing, like, do you think they're already like this season's already behind them in their sense, or do you think that this season still has some evolution process to go through, or you think it will? Night.
I think Lightfall next season are already done, and they've been done for a couple months. It's just a lot of fine tuning because so like Sony resources are finally being dipped into Lightfall at a percentage, but everything after Lightfall is officially like Sony's bag, like it's Sony's money.
Right.
It's finally going to be seen after the launch of Lightfall. So that was it season 21. They'll be like, okay, cool. What are they doing with Sony's money? And that's where we're going to see where it comes into like, what are they doing? Who are they bringing from Sony? What resources are they using? But I think everything's done. And it's just a lot of
Midnightfall.
fine-tuning.
Midlightfall. Is that what we're getting at?
Yeah.
Sony
so,
money?
so it's already in Lightfall, but not. So Lightfall was already, I think, I forgot where I read it, but it was already over halfway done before the merger happened, right? And obviously that was just Sony buying it, and that was before they bought it.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Whatever.
So we're gonna
Yeah,
start seeing the
so-
Sony money like midway through Lightfall.
Yeah, and they're already going into like the next season, and then season 21, which is the season after the launch of Lightfall, will 100% this is Sony's game now, and we're seeing what they're adding to it. So that's where we're gonna see it, and if it's the same, then I'm worried.
I'd be extremely upset if it's not a huge drastic change. And I'm gonna go back to Taken King, because we saw a huge leveling change in PvE. We saw like the power level system come in and such. We saw just a different way to level your character, and then we see far in the future a seasonal thing come through where you have season ranks and a season pass, which became or battle pass people would refer to it as, is because that was more of the very common thing we saw in a lot of the games, where we saw in Fortnite, we saw in all these different things, which is now in COD and different stuff like that, where you rank up and you get these little seasonal activities. You get these little seasonal rewards as well too, that are just based off this 3-month period. But the content isn't worth playing for those rewards, if that makes sense. Like, it's not fun, it's not replayable, and don't even get me started on replayability. It's frustrating to see it fail so many times in a row for no changes to happen. Does that make sense? I would love to see you're talking about how Sony's money is going to come into effect around middle of Lightfall. I want things to change drastically. I want the seasonal model to change. I want there to be reasons to play this game every single day, whether there's daily challenges for XP, whether there's different things that change daily, whether there's every Friday you get double comp XP. I'd play every damn Friday. Why not get double XP every Friday night or whatever? You get on with your buddies and go grind the shit out of it.
But you saw what they said in the swamp, though, right?
Remind me.
They said that ability balances won't happen until well into Lightfall, which is probably like season 21
and that's why we're struggling. We're
7
not
months
struggling.
from now.
There is a comp rank system. Let me just go ahead and point this out as well too. There are already ranks in the competitive game mode. Okay, you already get heroic, you already get fable, blah 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 blah, 2100, 5500. That shit's already there. The baseline is already laid out. There's no reason for that. So this whole comp rework system does not add a reason to play. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm getting a new gun and that's fucking it.
I
want a reason to rank up every time. I want to have a reason to play with my friends every Friday night or every weekend or every Tuesday night, whatever the hell. And there's no reason.
I think the state of Destiny. Yeah, I think the state of Destiny is going to remain the same for 7 months. I think we're going to have a peak with Lightfall with the new abilities and stuff. But like, as far as us getting any real changes, as far as like gunplay, the 60-40 thing they promised, and other stuff, I think we're going to see the Lightfall supers being like super OP, kind of like how Stasis was for like way too long.
So we're going to repeat the whole process once again for the 4th time.
100%. And I think a lot of people are gonna get frustrated again, and we're gonna kind of get into the part where like, where's the nerfs? They're like, oh, it's coming. We know it's OP. They're not gonna do solid enough nerfs because it's their new super. So we're going to be looking at this time next year where we might be talking about a nerf in 3 months from now, from then, right? Oh, they're going to nerf whatever during final shape. And it's this thing where they don't really do things fast enough. We need ability and weapon balances like next week, right? We need a
They
lot
need to
of
come
stuff
with the season 19 update, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything came out this past week because of the whole it was Thanksgiving, of course. So I don't think
Right.
there was a TWAB if I remember correctly.
No, there wasn't.
Didn't make a difference. It's just gonna be like an empty. Hey, sometime in the future we're gonna be fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been nothing. Just here's the movie of
They
the
were
week.
good. Everybody.
We love
Yeah.
you. Here's some emblems.
Yeah. Here's movie of the week that doesn't deserve it. Anyways,
Wow, he went there.
I do have one last little topic, a quick little prediction. And that is my prediction of Knight, you've already even said this as well too. You read my mind. Is what do you think? Which one do you think is going to be better? You think this season is going to be better, or do you think next season? Do you feel more people are going to be playing this season, or have played this season more than next season? What are your expectations, just as comparing season 18, season 19?
Well, okay. So going into, so you went this season, next season, or like next season and Lightfall season?
This season compared to next season, do you think there are going to be more people that have played this season of the plunder and this seasonal model and this trials over how it's going to play out next season? Do you think it's going to be more successful? Do you think it's not going to be? What are your thoughts?
I think it's probably going to be the least successful, only because we're launching right before everyone has like Christmas break and all these new games came out, right? A lot of people can't really play them. But since we're heading to the Christmas break era, everyone's gonna be playing the new games at launch. You got Pokemon, Call of Duty, Overwatch 2 is still super new. There's so many new options. Why are they gonna come back and play this when they kind of already know how it's gonna go? They'll check it out.
Yeah.
They'll log on, that week of the new season, but then it's just gonna hit a hard decline. And I really do think we're probably gonna see the lowest player base that we've seen probably in the history of Destiny 2. Mostly because of when it's launching and all the new games are out. Like I would almost rather be playing Pokemon on my Switch than playing Trials. Like I've just been thinking about it all day. That's all I care about. Because it's just new. It's new. It's refreshing, and we haven't had that feeling yet in Destiny. Like last time I felt like that was during the Go Fast update from playing the launch of Destiny 2, which
Where things just change drastically, and you're
But
like,
the
now you're trying to find the meta.
dawning,
Exactly.
guys.
let me go spend 18 hours baking cookies. It drive me crazy. It has
Yeah.
not changed yet, which is crazy. Like they can just literally be like, "Hey, here's SRL." Boom, they saved the entire season. Like,
Yes,
that's all they need to do.
That's it. Just give us exactly
I
what
think
was
we're
it.
on
Just
agreement.
port it. Just port it over. Like
Yeah.
we don't need anything new. Make it
Oh.
30 FPS. I don't even care.
I'll play that 30 FPS.
No, I have something. I forgot about this. I was gonna bring this up today. I've been talking about this in chat for a week. Knight, you played Halo, right?
Yeah.
I think we all played Halo at one point, right? What made Halo amazing was the Forge mode and the Theater mode, where we could create custom maps, we can create custom game modes, add our own perimeters, like very, very custom. It was like headshot only mode, snipers only, whatever it was. If they allowed us to have that kind of freedom, I don't think there'll ever be like a dry period for a lot of content creators, because it's just your imagination's limit.
Maddie, you done struck a nerve with me, brother. You done struck a nerve, brother. Coming from someone that plays nothing but private matches in this video game, I would absolutely love to see something just different in that world. And
Make
the
your
only
own
thing that
maps.
they've added is a different spawn timer. That's the only thing that's been added to private matches in the past 3 years is a different spawn timer. And it didn't make any difference, by the way, in case you guys are wondering. So
I know. It's ass. It's ass. I mean, listen, like today, right? I didn't want to play trials, but I was like, there's not much else. I'll deal with going to freelance, whatever it was. I would have loved to go, hey guys, I made these maps this week when I was off. It's hand cannons only or pistols only, whatever, or just bows only, and it's headshots only. Maybe it's a crazy map. Maybe there's explosives everywhere, and just something kind of exciting, that we can kind of customize so that if the game mode is bad, or if maybe I don't want to do a raid, I can create a custom thing for myself and the community and everything else, and then shit on them with it. You know what I mean? It's just what I want. That's what I need.
I would agree, because I've recently played a few Forge maps in Halo and stuff. And one, I think Destiny has the equipment to do such a thing, by the way. But I also think they have just the bare bones of what we can do. Is they have private matches, they have lobbies and stuff that are, of course, unfortunately peer-to-peer connected. But dude, there's just so much potential. Why can't I choose where the heavy ammo spawns, or why can't I choose how much special to spawn in with, or why can't I choose the damage multiplier, if we want to do like a hardcore, make sure there's no radar, something. There should be more customization to the private matches. And I kind of got a little excited on the TWAB because they mentioned private matches for the first time in a long time.
But they didn't say anything. Said,
they didn't, but it still gets you a little excited, does it not? That like maybe they're doing something.
Yeah, that's
no, they're jerking you off.
Are they like my cock right now, bro?
No, they're jerking you off, dude. And I keep saying this. They keep doing this. They keep doing this with fake nerfs, and they keep doing this with TWABs. They know what we want to hear, but they're not doing it. Right? They go, private match. We're not going to say anything, but just know that our gaze is upon it. And I'm like, fucking say something, right? The game is dying. The population is the lowest it's ever been. Nobody is watching. The majority, like everybody's numbers across the board are lower, right? On YouTube, the same way. Because I've talked to a few people on YouTube. They're like, yeah, my viewership on my YouTube videos are getting lower views. My stream's getting lower views. What is this? And I'm like, well, it's end of the season. It's never been this low before, especially player base wise. They have
significantly different this season.
They have to chuck a nuke, man. They have to go, hey, this is all the things that we're doing. It's all that we've been hearing that you guys have been wanting. We're giving it to you. Have fun. And let us have fun for a season. And maybe they go after that season, they go, you know what? This was a big ballsy decision, but you guys are really happy. Population's high, and we're going to keep it. Or they can go, that was a bad season. We'll change it back. But let us have a season where we try it, right? They've been gathering data for the flawless pool since I was a fucking baby, it feels like,
Since September 10th of 21, because that was my birthday. That was the first day of the new trials. I did 12 hours that whole day and didn't get bored one second.
That's half the time reason I don't play trials anymore, because I film on the weekends. I film weddings and stuff. So by the time I get to play on Sunday, all my homies they're in the flawless pool. They're like, oh yeah, I'm not playing with you. I'm like, well, they're like, you don't want to play with me, basically, right? Because it's gonna be awful, and it is. I'm like, no, it'll be fine. Let's get in there. Nope, it's awful. So I literally just don't play trials anymore because of that. So
well, let's bring that up then.
Also, wait, one thing too, bro. They're not going to add anything that's going to let you change anything on a map.
I know.
Bro. It took 1,000 days to get one new bad map. Like they're not. You're just don't even get your hopes up. All right, you're not going to get.
I'm not.
We're getting one map next season. You guys know that, right? Next year.
Huge.
For Lightfall.
Yeah.
Can't wait. One map. That's huge. I'll pay $300 for it.
I don't know, man.
It's when you start doing that. You need to start selling things to like fund certain things. If that's the case, right?
Val skins.
I'll pitch
anything.
Fortnite skins. They make like $200 million, $300 million a month just on their skins that they sell. Like, if we don't have the same population, I don't think as Fortnite or whatever, but it's still like they would still be making like at least $50 million extra a month on these cosmetics. They go, oh, cool, yeah, we have a shitload of money. Let's do this.
Yeah,
we'll fund it.
Bro, they have Sony money now. There's enough people in the Bungie or in the Destiny community that I guarantee they could hire. They have a full Crucible team that could literally just run an entire department on its own. Just give everyone the salary they need and go for it. Like, I don't know. I've never been in a meeting or in a summit or whatever. I don't know anything about the internal dialogue of Bungie, but I don't understand why they don't look with the resources they have. Why they don't have like a big PvP team that's able to. Like, I bought map packs in Call of Duty Modern Warfare like in 2012 or whatever, when I was in 2009, whatever it was, when I was in high school, like with like 6 maps in it. Why is that not available in this game? Like, I'm not saying that maps are gonna fix everything, but imagine every season you're getting 4 new maps, or every DLC you're at least getting. I think it was like Kingsfall had like 9 maps, or whenever not Kingsfall, whenever Taken King came out, there was like 9 new maps or something crazy like that.
Dude, I mean, there's a lot of kind of like things of like, why don't they do this? It's very easy. Like, I saw on Twitter last week, I'm sure you guys have seen it too. There are people that are making fan-made emblems that are amazing, and I was like,
or fan-made ornaments. Don't even get me started on that.
I was like, these are fantastic. I'm like, you know how easy it'd be to support this in, and then we could buy it for like $3 or something, and like maybe 50 cents it goes to them. Like, do something where we can actually support each other too. Because if Knitehawk got a design, right, he had his own custom creator skin, right? It was maybe his logo, or maybe it was green weapons, and it was like a universal thing, and I can make my guardian all cool. I'd buy the shit out of that, right? Knowing that he would get a small percentage. I'd go, great, I'm supporting him. I'm also looking dope in game. Bungie's also getting paid. Literally everybody wins. but it's just a very confused. I think that's why we're all kind of mad. We're like, why isn't this happening? They're like, we're listening, guys. We're listening. Don't worry about it. But we're like, okay, well, then where is it? And they go, give us like 8 to 14 months.
Wait a second. Yeah. Here's
Yeah, like-
one last thing I want to talk about before we wrap up and let everybody go to sleep on this nice, beautiful Sunday. Is a flawless pool. And I say this because you guys are both trials players. You guys do trials helps and stuff on the weekends. And the flawless pool has been a conversation since the first week after the most perfect week of trials in the history of the world. So take me through what your first thought, like what are your thoughts about the flawless pool, and give me your raw opinion. Don't hold back. But also, how do you fix trials as well too? Give me your two ideas on what that might be.
Hey, now
you
you
go.
take this. You,
Addy,
you
you
take-
go
last
first.
one. It's all you.
you want me to take this?
Addy, you go
I don't
first.
hear what you say.
You listen, guys. It's so simple, right? And we had the answer for this the first time that trials came back after it not being back. For I forgot what happened. It wasn't around for a minute. It was on burnout, and there was no flawless pool, and there was no matchmaking, anything. And I remember the population was incredibly high because it was gone for a while. Yes, but I remember we did like 32 carries, and I don't mean like sweaty carries or like maybe we stomped them. Like it was like it felt like trials normal again. Like even back in Destiny 1, it was like holy shit, these games are good. Like some of these players are actually really good, and we have these really great games. And it's not like, oh, I'm just seeing some invis guy in the corner. People were coming into my chat saying that they were getting their first flawlesses with their best friends. No trials carries, no streamer helps, right? They were actually doing it how it's supposed to be done, how we did it back in D1, right? On the couch, put down the mic, right? Playing with your buddies and getting that flawless. So take away this flawless pool. Because if you guys think about it, flawless pool not only splits up the population, you've taken half of the people away, not just on because of flawless pool, but because they're waiting to play on Sunday or Monday. So you have a majority of population that are going, we're going to wait until Sunday. We're going to wait until Monday. We're going to play one card. Once that one card is done, I'm off. So they're not adding to the population. So now you have this giant chunk of players that you can't even consider them part of it because they're only playing one card and they're gone forever. So you have flawless, you have non-flawless, and then you have a giant group that's just not there anymore. So they need to take it away. We need to stop, you know what I'm saying? We need to stop doing this like Karen shit of like, oh, but these players are going to get stopped. We don't want anyone to get 5-0'd. If I go into Rainbow Six and I have like an hour in that game and I see some crazy, Rainbow Six Andy who's like 6K hours in, like fucking moving like this all the time, he's going to wreck me, man. And he better, because I did not put the amount of hours he did, right? If I cross his path, hey man, shit all over me because you've earned that, right? So this mentality of like, oh, no one should ever get 5-0. We don't want feelings getting hurt. We don't, man, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just take away the flawless pool, add more incentives, add weapons that are actually meaningful, add emblems, add shaders, add things that'll add to the population's excitement so that we don't have a population problem anymore. And if you want to add in crossplay, in my opinion, because this is probably a hot take, I don't like crossplay at all in PvP. I think the peer-to-peer connection's awful, and I don't like it. But if we're gonna have it, then open it up completely, so that our population is just through the roof. No flawless pool, massive population. I think everyone will be happy. It'll feel like the good old days of Trials of Osiris, you know? So.
All right, what are your thoughts?
Pretty much the same. You need forced crossplay, and you just have to get rid of
I think we're all
pools.
agreeing here, yeah.
Like
No,
flawless,
I love
non-flawless
it.
pool is so
I
dumb.
love the flawless pool. You guys suck. That's why you don't like it.
Dirty streamers.
Just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, it's a thing. A lot of console kids are like, no, it's unfair. It's like you do realize that like the lower gen consoles are playing with higher gen consoles that have an FPS advantage. Like, what are we? They go up to 120 frames. Like, you guys are already getting smacked by your own people almost. You know. I don't know, man. I think people need to be a little less sensitive and just have fun. This is just a game. This isn't like IRL. This isn't real life where you go to work and your boss goes, "Come here. Did you fucking lose in trials today?" You know? No, and he pulls up like the clip of you getting like just like beat on by the whole team, right? So it's just a game. Have fun. We want the population to be high. We want loot to be good, and we want people to gain those memories that we got in Destiny 1. I want people to not come to my stream for carries. I want them to go, hey, I got my carries with my best friends, casually. I'm just here to hang out. Great.
Enjoy the gameplay, baby.
enjoy the gameplay. You know, enjoy me screaming and you know, breaking my keyboard or something. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding.
Go ahead, continue your thoughts there, Knight, about what are your thoughts on the flawless pool, and how do you, in your mind, fix quote unquote trials?
Just connection-based matchmaking, force cross-play matchmaking, drop the pools, because like Maddie said, there's no replayability right now. It's literally just people waiting to play on Sunday. They do that one card and they're done. And it feels like, unfortunately, they're pushing trials for those types of people, but that doesn't make sense, right? Because at that point, then why even run trials for the whole weekend? There's just no point. It's a weekend
Imagine if Nightfalls. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be horrible. Like, did you play D1 trials, Maddie?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
I
like
played with my 2 best friends.
see, exactly. And like, to be honest, the only reason why Destiny survived, especially in year 3 going into D2, was because of trials. And there's proven statistics that Thowdy went through it. Trials let Destiny survive viewership wise on YouTube and on Twitch because of trials. And it kind of sucks. Like, now it almost feels like they don't care. I know they care to, like, from what I know, but it sucks. Like, we're just waiting and hoping it's gonna get better.
And it's been a year and 3 months now since the flawless pool has been implemented, and not a single week has it been gone for us to see.
Have you guys seen anyone say anything positive about it ever?
I don't think
People
so.
that play for the one card, those are the only people I've heard that love it.
I think it's good because
the 1 hour Andy's a weekend. It's the 1 hour. I work on the weekends. The only time I have is to play at 9:30 at night on a freaking Sunday night, because I don't work on a Monday or some bullshit, or I'm playing while I'm watching my Cowboys or some shit on a Sunday afternoon, and I'm trying to get that one fusion rifle that I haven't gotten in 45 weeks or whatever. Dude, no.
Yeah, but how does that help that? Like, the other
doesn't.
without it would be more helpful.
It
I
doesn't.
don't know, man. I think they've lost their way, to be honest. I said this in chat. I'm more excited for the dungeon next season. Excuse me. I'm more excited for the dungeon than I am PvP. I think PvP is still going to be ass. I think for Lightfall, I'm more excited for the PvE. I think they nailed it for Witch Queen than I am for PvP. I think PvP isn't going to change. I think us hoping for it is massive copium, right? The people that are in charge of weapon balances, they don't want things to get nerfed. They don't want linears to get nerfed. They want in-air. I think in-air is too oppressive. It's crazy to me, the choices that they've made. It made it very obvious that I think they're very, very purposefully doing things a certain way to stop, you know, for there to be a skill gap. You know, that's as easy as I can say it. It's rough.
My biggest thing is I just don't know how you look, and they even did it in the graph as well too. You guys remember that graph from that TWAB that showcased
The
that
weapon one?
first week of trials, and the fact that there were like millions of players at a certain amount of time?
Oh,
How do you look
talking
at
about
that? How do you look at that and just implement something that's going to cut your shit in half? How do you just, how is that even like a decent business? That's like asking, I don't even know. I don't even know. I can't even think of an analogy off the top of my head, but it's poor business. It's like someone really enjoying that one flavor that you have of Advanced GG, and then Advanced is like, you know what? Actually, we don't care that flavor anymore. I'm sorry,
We're
guys.
yeah. We're
We're discontinuing that,
forever,
by the way, in case you guys are wondering. But Advanced, don't do that, by the way. We love your cans.
We want sour.
But that's just how it is. It's like getting blue balled for a while. You're just like, why'd you change it? It was perfect.
But it's been happening too many times, right? Like too many things. You're like, they actually did that? Like, holy shit, are you serious? And then they just kept doing it for more and more stuff. There's definitely like a plan of some sort that they don't want. They don't want a certain style of play. They want it to be like a 50-50 chance, right? If I turn around and I face a guy, like if someone's chasing me and I turn around, it's a 50-50 chance that he's either going to one-shot melee me, he's going to shoot a nade at the ground or something like cheesy, or I'm going to shit on him, right? There's like no in between. It's either I'm going to win that fight, or it's going to be a GL, or it's going to be like a one-shot melee, and I'm going to rage. I'm just going to be like, ah! I can't jump in the air. I can't, So I don't know, man. It's definitely a scary thing to be a content creator in Destiny 2. For now and then for the foreseeable future, I would say.
Yeah. Luke, we'll get your thoughts on the flawless pool. What do you think? What's going to bring you back into trials if that's the case? And then we'll kind of get a little wrap up.
We'll wrap it up. Yeah. First of all, thank you guys for keeping up with if you're listening to this, you have no clue, but there's like some insane technical issues happening like throughout this whole podcast. But hopefully you didn't check. But thank you guys. I just wanted to say thanks to all three of you for being awesome. I've had to mute and unmute myself like every single time I talk. But anyways, I'm with them. Like, get rid of it. There's literally no reason to have it. Nobody likes it. It's kind of like mind-boggling that it's not gone. It's kind of a joke at this point, I feel like. But I don't play right now because it's a thing. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I can only play on Sundays, and my friends that play this game, they play on Friday when Trials comes out. So like they're gonna have their flawless done, and then I'm not gonna have anyone to play with. I don't have enough time to like want to play with new people and be like, yeah, let's do this and we'll all become friends. No, I want to play with my homies and go flawless. Like if I wanted to play with anyone in here, I probably wouldn't be able to because you'd probably already went or you're streaming or whatever. So I think that it goes away. I think things that make it better, like better weapons. I don't know. Is there any Trials weapons that you guys are just like dying to get every season?
I mean, I said this last season. I said if they reskinned Spare and they put it as a Trials hand cannon,
yes,
it would blow up, dude.
I'd play it all day long just to get that. Yeah.
You know, bring back. I mean, I was gonna say Astral Horizon, but they nerfed shotguns. Shotguns are really bad. But if they reverted it and Astral
or
came
a new
back,
sniper or something.
Like Revoker, that'd be fantastic.
Bring back, well, like,
Shut
dude,
up.
Yes,
Don't ever say some
Revoker.
shit like that again.
No, I'm with him. Revoker.
put in two exotics. Like, imagine if like No Land and Icebreaker were random exotic drops from Trials, right? Like, not as OP, but like, imagine if there was two random drop exotics.
It rewarded you for playing no matter what.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
So you could, just like the Ghost Shell, which I didn't get for like a season and a half, which was crazy. You could randomly get that dropped. And it's random. It's not like at the lighthouse. It's just random per win of rounds, so that people could feel like there's a chance they might get this crazy exotic, and that's the only way you can get it. Same thing with GMs. Do the same thing. Hey, there might be this exotic that drops. No matter what the weapon is, there's this new exotic it might drop, so that we get back to that grind of like, oh, it's exciting. I'm gonna grind out some gems today, and I might get that exotic, right? And maybe it doesn't happen for like a month. Maybe like I'm just sitting there like an idiot grinding, right, with a big grin on my face.
Hey, but you're still doing it. And it brings you back to the game every single week.
It gives you that Gallahorn screech. Do you remember back in D1, those like clips of like, oh my, just like peeking out their mics? I need that. I think we're all chasing that again. I think we're all trying to chase that again.
Last question, and it's going to be rapid fire. Knitehawk, what is your favorite weapon and favorite armor set in Destiny 2? Go.
Revoker, and then the I would have to say the new Fortnite Warlock is my favorite.
Okay, all right, Maddie.
It's gonna have to be Ace of Spades, and it's gonna be the Trials, like, you know, like that. What's that like douchey Trials Hood of Exile, the Exile.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, like that top tree Dawn, like.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. The Jackal, is that what it is? The Jackal set. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
Luke,
like
what you got?
What was the question again?
First, favorite weapon ever and favorite armor set.
Favorite weapon ever? Recluse. Favorite armor set? Don't have one.
Okay, there you go. My favorite weapon in Destiny is Zalo Supercell. Yeah.
Wait a second. Let me come back. Bones of AO is my favorite weapon set. If I could have Bones AO helmet, just all the way down, just everything Bones AO.
Just legs.
That's what I want. So
I fuck with it. My favorite armor set though is the Iron Banner armor set that they're actually about to bring out. That was my favorite armor set of all time. Is the one with the helmet, with the Titan helmet with like the mohawk, or like the one single little man bun ponytail. That was my favorite armor set. Yep. So I'm very excited about the fact that's coming back.
The Trials cat one, the pink one with the scarab emblem from D1.
Oh,
that armor set is probably the best armor set Trials has ever had.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Okay, I take it back. I take back my other thing again.
Cowards.
My favorite armor set is the Crota's End set with the ornaments on it from D1.
Age of Triumph. Smart man. Yep. No, that's good. Those Age of Triumph. I think all of them were fantastic. I think all of those were fantastic from all the raids. They were juice. Loved them. Beautiful. Great choice. Hell yeah.
Sweet.
welcome to the end of the podcast.
We did it. We made it to the end. That was super fun. If you're listening, we're so thankful that you listened to this for this long. We love you, and we want you to keep listening / watching every other Sunday. If you want to watch live, you can watch live on twitch.tv/sixfrontsgg. I think that's what it is. Every other Sunday. It's also going to be on YouTube on Mondays as long as the right people upload it. So we got you. It's going to be awesome. We're also trying to get this audio version on Apple as well. So right now it's only on Spotify. Apologize. Anchor kind of has changed and it's a little bit, I don't know. You can blame Apple. But anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. It was fun. We usually do a little bit more like getting to know you guys, but we really, really wanted to talk about PvP tonight. So thanks for coming on and talking about PvP. We want you guys to come on again at some point. But what we usually do at the end is we go around. Let's just shout yourself out. Like tell us where we can find you. Maddie, maybe say if you can tease anything from your secret thing that you're doing, maybe do that, or tell us when that's going to happen, or give us something that if you want to help out, you know, the people that are still listening, they might be pumped. They get a little something special, but just tell us something about where we can find you, just all the good stuff.
You know, I'm on twitch.tv/AverageMatty. We have I keep calling it this, and I swear it's going to live up to this. It's the biggest project in D2 history that's ever been made. And I hope it is. No, it definitely is. And I don't think anyone else is ever going to top it after it comes out. We have a big teaser that's going to release, I think, in the next week and a half. And then it officially releases December 16th on my YouTube, youtube.com/AverageMatty. It's going to be insane. It's a lot of work, a year's worth of work, and I can't even tell you guys how much money. But I think it's gonna be worth it.
I'll throw up if you tell me.
You want to guess?
Oh yeah.
No, I'll literally kiss you on the face if you tell me. Actually, I'll do that anyways.
It was.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Night.
Tell us where we can find you.
I want to know the amount.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
Six figures plus.
777777777.
I'll DM it to you. I don't. It'll give it away. I think.
Please do. Awesome. Knight, tell me where you can find you. Are you working on anything? What's coming up for you, brother? Let's hear it.
Twitch.tv/Knitehawk. Nothing too crazy. Got a couple things. More content creator collaboration stuff. Slowly starting to get in the works, ready for Lightfall. But Lightfall is definitely going to be a big change for myself as a content creator as well as all the other people.
Oh yeah, Mr. Luke.
Yo, dude, if you guys are watching, I've been redoing this office, so it's like a disaster. So I haven't really been. Also got a new lens. Like how wide? Look at my arm. Oh my gosh.
Dang.
But I've honestly, like, dude, it's been like the craziest year business wise for me. So I've just been editing and doing all kinds of crap. So I have not been making content or anything. But if you want to, and I stream on Tuesdays at twitch.tv/BeardedLuke. I stream video games. It just depends what's cool at the moment. Destiny usually, but right now it's going to be who the heck knows. You can watch me here, and then youtube.com/BeardedLuke. That's where I'm actually making a video about this room. I'm kind of switching into the more like tech, shoes, video games, whatever you want to call it. I'm making content on the internet. That's what I do. So go watch my stuff. It's good. And I love you. All right, Sam.
Yeah. My name is Sam. Or
Sam
I go by Maddox.
Samix.
And you can
Samix?
find me at what?
Your name is Samix. It's your new name.
There you go. My name is Sam. I go by Maddox. Twitch.tv/Maddox. I stream every Thursday. We do scrims, and then every other weekend that there's no podcast, we do trials. We and Luke are part of this team that you guys see it streamed on Six Fronts, and filled with a lot of awesome content creators. And we are hoping to not only produce this podcast, but also produce some awesome, friendly content on our YouTube as well. So that's where a lot of my focus is going to be, is this podcast and producing something that is worthwhile and worth listening to. And I can't thank Maddie and Knitehawk to be a part of what we're doing. And, of course, my fantastic Mr. Co-host, Bearded Luke.
I love you.
Love you too, brother.
All right, boys. I appreciate you all being here. We will be back next time, and you don't get to know who the guest is. So follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/sixfrontsgg on Twitter.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, follow us there, and you'll see all the good stuff. But it's an honor to talk to you all, and we will see you all next week. If you're listening live, stick around because there's going to be a raid. I love you. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
This is